One more time, ladies and gentlemen, and we are back. Here I am, Fly Navarro. I got my main man, Jeremy. And for those of you that are joining us, we already did this once, but my power went. It was out for about 20 minutes. But now we're back. Jeremy, please introduce yourself again.
I'm Jeremy Washington. I live in Orange Beach, Alabama, and I wear a shit ton of hats. I outfit in Canada, I outfit in a few other states in the United States, and I fish full time during the fishing season. So here we are.
There you go. And also, in our conversations while we were texting, while I was sitting in the dark, you also mentioned that you're a veteran, an Army vet.
I am Army vet. I was in the Army for most of my adult life. I was in the military, and then
how many years did you serve?
8 years full time. 3 deployments: once to Iraq, twice to Afghanistan. 11 Bravo 40 sniper.
Well, first and foremost, thank you very much for your service. People don't realize that if it wasn't for guys like you fighting for our freedom, we couldn't sleep with our head on a pillow safely at night. And there's a lot to be said about that.
Well, I appreciate it. I really do. But I feel like a lot of us just had a good way of getting out of trouble when we were all younger. And I said, at one time I was on everything but roller skates. So I said, it seemed like the good thing to do was go deploy somewhere.
Well, I'll tell you what, I mean, me personally, I was very fortunate in the fact that I started fishing and I got to travel all over the world. And I feel that every young teenager or every teenager, young 20-year-old, young adult should spend some time traveling to see, number one, how good we have it here in this country. First and foremost, we have it really, even when it's bad, we have it good. Uh, it's, I was listening to a podcast the other day. They're like, really look back just in the history. 50 years ago, we didn't even have hot water to take a shower in.
I mean, you look at Costa Rica, still supposed to be this week fishing. There's still a lot of guys there. So a lot of people still have dirt floors in their house, still have no warm water when they take showers every day. And I was like, America as a whole, I think we're just now starting to get to it, but we're really seeing how good we have it. A lot of things we complain about, we really shouldn't be complaining about.
That's why I recommend a lot of young people get up, travel before you get a family, before, I'm not saying take 20 years or me. I've taken 30 years and I'm still traveling and I just decided not to have a family because I like to travel too much. But go out, see it. Go see Costa Rica. Go see Nicaragua. Go to places where people don't have running water. They don't have electricity. Um, or you don't even know when your next meal's coming.
I'll get in a rabbit hole talking about this stuff, but it's like I was in Iraq when we were leaving, and I remember guarding the voting polls that was there, and I was like, those guys were coming in there to vote every day, knowing when they got that ash mark on their forehead and they went back in the streets, there's a really good chance they weren't going to make it home. And I was like, those people are voting for better. It's like, it's good to be able to go out and see that and see. We got guys that won't even vote here. And it's like, you really have to, if you want to make a change, you have to vote. You have to do stuff. And it's like those guys, their life depended on it. So at a young age, I'd never left Mississippi. And then you go over there and see that stuff. And it's like, it's a big eye opener. It was. I was younger when I got to do it, and then been fortunate on the fishing side and owning an outfitter in Canada. I still get to travel a lot, but you can see that still in the world. Canada, I feel like in certain parts outside the city, still 30 years behind the learning curve. Iraq was 30 years behind the learning curve of vice versa. Afghanistan was 30 years behind the learning curve of what Iraq done. It's like somebody asked me where I wanted to go back to. It's like, I don't want to go back to Iraq. They don't have to be there to kill you. It's like, they knew how to do what they were doing without being there. It's like, at least where we were at in Afghanistan, you saw them coming to shoot at you, so
it's crazy. I mean, like you said, the fact that we take for granted that if you go vote, you might get killed because you voted.
Yeah.
I mean, right now it already seems like you might get killed if you tell people who you voted for.
You say you might get killed because you voted. It's like we're getting
Well, it depends on if you tell people. I remember one time I was, I'm not going to mention countries. I'm not going to mention it. I was in a country for a boat show. and there was a guy from another country, and the first words out of his mouth is, "Hey, did you vote for so and so?" And I go, "First of all, it's none of your damn business who I voted for. The fact that I don't even know you and you're asking me who I voted for, it's none of your damn business." That's the whole point of, a private ballot. Who I vote for is who I vote for, and who you vote for is who you vote for. I don't care. It's definitely become like this giant badge of honor. Let's talk about who I voted for, right on my sleeve. Honestly, I really don't care who you vote for. You have your
I'm
beliefs.
fascinated by a lot of other countries, and Canada knows more about our president than our country knows more about their president. You'll go there and they love it. They're like, tell us more. They said, are you voting for him? Because we love everything he does. And I was like, well, they got to love it. It's like, it's funny how so many other countries, they watch what you're doing in yours. So,
Especially us here in the United States. I get asked a lot of questions in all the places I go. And a lot of people are surprised when I say some of the things that I say, how they view us.
right,
Good, bad, or indifferent. Listen, I'm not, as you can tell, it's not that I'm beating around the bush as much as it's not important what is being said as much as, like you said, that they're watching. Everybody is watching. And um, one thing that it's one of the reasons why I love doing this podcast is the fact that, and all the other podcasts that I listen to, we can have a nice, long, in-depth conversation because there really is no black or white. You may feel a certain way, but you may feel a certain way because of certain reasons that you have and the way you were brought up.
right.
And um, yeah, that's I like to have a conversation. I like to ask people what they feel and why they feel it, if they so choose. Most people that know me, I spend a lot of time in the Middle East, and I have a lot of great Muslim friends. And I ask them questions. I'm like, "Hey, man, I don't understand this. Could you please explain it to me?" Because we hear things through the news. And when you end up hearing uh, 90% of the people, they just want to make sure they got enough money to put food on the table for their family. No matter where I go, whether it's the Middle East, South America, Central America, Japan, I've been to China a couple times, Australia. They just want to make sure their family's okay. They want to make sure their wives are good, their kids are good. It's very important.
Most people that know me probably would think that I was completely different than what I am. It's like at the end of the day, and after fighting in another war and seeing everything, I don't care who's our president. If you do your job as a president and you take care of your country and you take care of your soldiers, and at the end of the day, I can take care of my family. I don't care what color you are, where you're from, or whatever. It's like, because if you ever have to go back to that bottom side and say, can just worry about what's yours, then you'll really start seeing what's important.
Yeah, it gives you a new perspective on life when you go and not necessarily live in somebody else's shoes, but take a couple steps in their shoes and say, "Oh, okay, now I understand." And it's not rocket science. It really
No.
isn't. We just try to take care of our family and our loved ones and make sure we're safe. And um, well, enough about that shit. Let's talk about fishing and hunting. Let's talk about
Okay. So here we
cool.
go down this hole. I said, you'll let me
Yeah,
dig
man,
into a
that was a
hole, and
good
that's where we'll be
listen.
the rest
And
of the
you
time.
know what? And it's so funny because I when I'm not on camera, I get pulled into these conversations quite often.
Well,
Um,
what kind of got us on the conversation? I didn't know how much you had done for the vets, and I guess that's what pulled us. You didn't know at the time I'd spent in the army, and honestly didn't know how much you'd done for the vets. And it's like
yeah,
that's the greatest thing to me because last year Parker, when he was working on the Grand Slam in Costa Rica, and he's like, he was sitting, I just left there fishing with Pugsley, and he said, "Man, we've got these." I can't say who was on the boat, but a lot of veterans. It was on the boat over there, and they were. He was like, "Man, these guys." He goes, "They just want to have a good time," and I was like, "And that's what I told you earlier." And I was like, being able to take somebody out of their little ball that they're in, and not being able to. We take it for granted as fishing every day. And I remember at the end of the year, it's like, if I could just not go fishing today and maybe tomorrow we'd be all right. And I said, but people forget when we first started, we woke up and it was the greatest thing we'd ever seen in our life. And it's like now you do it and Pepper's doing it over there, and a lot of the A heroes are doing it here in the Gulf. Is like taking these veterans fishing to do something they've never done. Is like I honestly don't know if society as a whole know how many lives you save by doing that. And it's like for me, thank you. It's like I'm fortunate to get to do what I love, and I was just retarded listening to everybody when I was little, and they told me I couldn't make a living out of hunting and fishing. But here I am. I'm doing good. It's like
Listen,
so.
like yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
It's like here I am, but it's like seeing those veterans and hearing Parker come in at nighttime, and he said he wanted me to come in and fly his unit flag for him. It's like he was having the greatest time. Or this guy was hurt, and he said he had never saw a sailfish before, and it's like. And I even told you this in a text message, and we'll get out of it and we'll talk about hunting and fishing. But
No. We can
as
listen.
as
I'm okay with talk. I didn't want to talk about the political side, but as far as veterans and military guys, I'll spend all 2 fucking hours doing it. I don't care. I
and
mean, because it's something I'm
man,
passionate about.
I'm gonna raise an ant bed on this one. A lot of times I see SFC, God love them and everything else. People's got to have money to make money to be able to do the things, but it's like I do have a special spot in my heart for. There's a lot of people in this world that can afford to do stuff, and I feel like a lot of people that get shine. And it's the same way with hunting and fishing, country music stars, stuff like this. But doing what you're doing and doing what the A hero does and doing what other people, you're doing veterans that most of them can't even pay a house payment without struggling or a car payment without doing so. You've put them on a plane to take them somewhere to go fishing, and you've saw them, and you don't understand it. I've took people that didn't want to be on the back of that boat 100 times, and it's like they are excited to fish, but you take a veteran or just take anybody that had a bad go at life, and you take
Yeah.
them on that fishing trip, and you go, that snapper may not mean nothing to us, or that sailfish, or that 200-pound blue marlin that we if you're chasing caught 5,000 of them this year in the Gulf, then it don't they may not be as important, but it's like those guys. You
It
honestly, I
means the
remember
world to them.
they'll come and give you a hug at the end of the day and said, "You don't know this, but you really helped me out of a bad spot." And it's like, I love that. I love hearing phone calls from other people saying, or even hunting shows. We were big on it when I worked at Honey Break. They take a lot of veterans hunting. They do that, and I promise, if anybody ever watches this, you want to make yourself feel good in your heart. You take a man that's deployed, that he put his life behind to go fight every day. I said, you want to tell him thank you? Just show him something like that. I promise it means 10 times more to them than it will just somebody else. Because
Uh, no, go, please. I keep trying
I'll
to
get in
cut you
my,
off, and I
I told you,
shouldn't, man.
I was like, no, you'll let me get in a rabbit hole and we'll be here tonight when the sun goes down behind us. But it's
And
like,
that's fine. That's
um,
fine. I'm in no
I
rush.
love what the fishing community does for our veterans, though. As a long story short, it's like I think that's great, and I think as a whole, a lot of people overlook it and go, "That's a good day they get to do it." But there's people at home that just said, "Lord, if you just give me another day to do something different, to see something different, I might get out of this bad spot." And like I told you on the phone, I was like, I don't realize, I don't know if you realize how many people you've probably secretly saved by just sticking your hand out there and allowing them to be able to do something like that.
Yeah, I like spending time around. Listen, the reason I love fishing and the reason, I mean, don't get me wrong, we all started with a passion of fishing, but as you get older, it became less about fishing and more about spending time with people. And as I've gotten older, my body, it just can't deal with being out at sea 300 days a year. You know, it was different when I was 20, in my 20s, I was, 200, 250 days a year. And then as I got older, once I got into my mid to late 40s, I'm like, I have all these connections. I have the leverage and the knowledge. What can I do to promote my sport? And somewhere down that line, I was very, very fortunate that I got mixed up with the group out of Mission Outdoors, which is based out of Tacoma, Washington. I wrote a book, and I found their tournament. It's it's two faceted. Number one, they take military members, active and retired, so veterans and active members. Last year we had these three kids. They were hilarious. They were 19 years old. They got a weekend pass from JBLM,
I
and
was stationed there for a long time.
oh, were you? Okay.
Yeah.
So they drove down for the weekend, and somebody's like, "Hold on, you got to talk to Fly," and I'm like, let me watch these guys. And it's like, what's the deal, gentlemen? It's like, sir, we came down, we got the weekend pass, and we're gonna go fishing in your tournament, this and that. And I go, first of all, you don't have to call me sir. I appreciate it. You're good. Just call me Fly. That's what everybody calls me. And we went through. I says, and for people that's never been out to Washington, the summertime is absolutely beautiful, especially when you're on the coast, where we host the tournament is in Westport. So during the day, it's maybe 70 degrees,
Right. It's a
68,
beautiful place.
70.
Yeah.
And then at night, it's like 55. So most everybody's camping out. And me personally, I get a hotel, not because well, maybe because I'm just a bougie little bitch, but I'm also there for 10 days and I want a shower. I need to set up my computer because I still got to work. I got to do all that stuff. But these young kids, they're hanging on every word. And I'm like, okay, guys, so you got to be at the dock early at 4:30. And I'm only giving you one warning. I says, there's a couple of bars around here and there's some women. They got teeth down there. Be careful. We lost a couple young fellows like you. Well, what do you mean? I go, I'm just telling you, if you go to the bars, a couple of young looking guys like yourself, uh, military, we might not ever see you again. You're safe overseas, but here it's dangerous. These poor kids were lost, man.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
They were lost, but they were great. I saw them in the morning. They were drinking coffee with everybody. We got everybody out on the boats. We had a great time. Listen, I've been doing it now since 21. I have a meeting with them next, actually in like 2 weeks. I'm flying out there. We usually start planning everything kind of late for me anyway. And I like to plan shit out way, way early. So I said, guys, I'm gonna fly out in February, and I'd like to get the president of the association of the nonprofit, and then the guy that's in charge of the salmon side. I'm in charge of the tuna side. I said, let's the three of us get together second week of February. Come to the house, sit here, let's break some bread, let's shoot the shit, let's plan this out, let's get it started. So then that way, when it comes time, because shit always hits the fan when it gets time. So let's get everything taken care of early. And not just that, it gives us some time to spend together. And one of the guys, the guy in charge of the salmon side, he's a first responder, um, which again, we take care of them as well. If you want to come fishing, we want to get you out fishing. Come have a good time, hang out with us. Um, the Pacific Northwest Barbecue Association, they come and they cook for everybody. So we're eating good food for 2 days. And we sit out in this unbelievable, beautiful campground and have a great time. And yeah, I absolutely love it. And I've met some great guys and gals, man. I've met some gals in it that they've served us, and a couple years we've had full all women team, all military. These are some bad women, man. They can catch some fish now. They can catch some fish, but listen, there's a lot of great organizations all over the country. I know a really good friend that does them right here in right out of West Palm. They put on a tournament in Abacos. So there's a lot of great organizations if people want to just reach out, because sometimes we don't know about it until you reach. You just need to reach out one time. We're kind of sticky like 5,200, man. Once you put your hand on it,
Yeah.
it's like, we got you now, man. We got your number. What's going on? How have you been? Sometimes, it takes a little while to get back and forth to everybody. But, you check in just the same way you check into with your fishing buddies. Hey, man, what's going on? What's a good deal? What'd you catch? Or, I got one. Did I put it away? Oh, my buddy Gravy. He was in the 160th. He That's an empty water bottle. He flew the little birds, the American flag I showed you. He handmade this.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Yeah. He started his own 5013C, and he calls it Blades of Brothers. He gets guys in and they'll spend a week, and they'll forge a knife. They'll make a knife all the way from just the raw steel, pounding it out. uh, stoning it, shot. Yeah, I mean,
Man, 160th is badass. I mean,
bro.
if you want to know who take the badasses where they're going, it's the Night Stalkers. Oh, Chili's dad that fishes here with us, his dad was a pilot in 160th. And like
Was
a lot
he?
of people, they don't understand, but if they're 160th, every one of them's badass.
I'm going to tell you something that my buddy in the 160th, I don't want to say he taught me because, again, as I'm getting older, when you're young, how old are you?
42.
Okay. So you're not a young buck either. Listen, you're a brand newborn in the old timers. I'm an adolescent in senior citizenship. That's what I was told. When you're in your
You was
50s,
talking
you're an
earlier
at.
about you when you got older working in the back, and I said I think I probably learned from the wrong person. As Lawrence is who I fished under forever, and I said Lawrence is like the only 45 to 50-year-old mate I still know that can barely get around. I said I guess I'm going to be the same way. I really like
Listen,
the square end.
I like it. I like the cockpit because you get to talk to everybody. I've run boats and I enjoy it, but it's lonely up there, man. It's
uh,
fucking lonely. But going back to Gravy, he taught me this. He told me a story one time, and I heard it, but it's something every time uh, I have a handful of buddies that we've been friends for 40 years, and when you're 50 years old, it's different to tell somebody you love them because I don't know. This could be the last time I talk to you, and I don't know that. We don't know that. You lose enough friends over the years. But Gravy, he really taught me, and he even told me, he's like, man, the most important thing to me is to let my friends know that I love them because we don't know. And he's 62. He lost a lot of friends in the army. I don't know all of his demons. Yeah, when you're in the military, there's a lot of demons that you got to deal with, and you want to let your friends know. And I've taken it to heart because there's a lot of friends of mine um, that I let them know. And sometimes if they're not even friends of mine, they're just, people I know and military members. They just want to know somebody loves them,
that's right.
that their lives mean something. And it does. It really does mean something. And we've all been, and we said something in the text message really quick, but we're all very blessed because God gave us the opportunity to be here. The fact that we're born, you're lucky. You're lucky.
That's
You're
right.
blessed. God's already blessed you. You were one of how many million that made it, you know?
That's right. It's,
So,
we are very
uh,
lucky. And you're talking about that saying "I love you." So Smile said second time I ever met Parker Plot, I was fishing with Jamie, and I heard him in the phone on the side of it, and he told Jamie, he goes, "I'll see you later. I love you." I said, "He just tell you he loved you?" He goes, "He did." And then that next
yeah,
day, I seen Parker. I said, "Good luck today." He goes, "Have a good day. I love you." I said,
yeah,
"That's the second day I've ever saw you. Why you tell me you love you?" He goes, "I tell everybody I like it. I love them." He goes, "That's just
yeah,
me."
man.
It's been an ongoing thing. If we tell us, like, if you hear Parker get off the phone, he's gonna tell everybody he loves them. So it's
Yeah,
good. Makes you
it
feel
is
better.
good. I mean, again, as a man, you want to be tough. You want to beat on your chest. Yeah. Listen, you know, every once in a while you see this. I don't know. I've gotten to talk about them rabbit holes. I've gone down some rabbit holes in social media where, people are talking about men and how many days that we just don't talk. We're quiet because there's things we're worried about. There, and listen, I'm lucky. I say I'm lucky. I don't want to say that I'm lucky or not lucky. I don't have children. I've chosen that path. But if I had to worry about a wife, children, uh, my business, the people's lives on my boats, the amount of pressure that people have, that men have. And listen, I'm not saying women don't have them because they have the same things, but women are so much better communicators than we are, man. They are way better communicators than we are. We suck at communicating, unless we're drunk. When we're drunk, I love you, man.
The,
But it's important. Tell somebody you love them. Tell them you miss them. I do it all the time. And it's weird when you first start doing it. It's weird. It's hard. But once you do it and you do it with your friend, like, fuck, man, I've known Pugsley. You're talking about Pugsley. I've known Pugsley since he was 19 years old, dude. I've known him since he was 19. That motherfucker right there he could tell you stories that probably put me in jail.
he probably got a lot of them stories about everybody, but they
But
probably got a lot about him too.
But I love the guy. I absolutely love him. I remember when he met his ex-wife. I remember when his kids were born. To this day, one of the greatest things I love about social media, specifically Pugsley, is I got to see his kids grow. And, they'll see me in passing, hey, Fly, hey, Fly. But they don't realize that I remember when they were born, and how many of my friends that I've been a part of this whole industry, and I love them all, man. I love going up to the golf and seeing you guys because I only get a chance to see you guys maybe once a year.
He's probably one of my largest mentors. Probably he's like my older brother. Honestly, get back to people making you they're here for you when you need them and stuff. When talking about ex-wives and everything else, divorce, he knew that I needed some a damn bone when me and him first met. So he's like, he helped me out. I probably wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him. And I was like, I don't know why he took time to put me under his wing, and I'm still there. I'm going to, see him this week. But he's a good person, and to go on along with that is the tight group of the sport fish community reminds me more of the military than anything I've ever done in my life. And I was like,
100%.
like you said, we all know how it feels to be gone. It's like, hey, I'll see you in a few months, because a lot of these guys, we live here, but they know when it's time to go. It's like I laughed at it, and I'm not very familiar with Los Sueños and stuff. And when I was there, it's like the day after the last tournament, you wake up the next morning, everybody's gone. They're going to catch the next one, and they're going to go
Exactly.
travel where they go. And it's like, that's a lot of the military. We made good friends so many places, and it's time to go. And it's like, you always have those ones that when you don't think that anybody even knows you're alive, you'll get that random text message in the morning. It's like, hey, what are you doing? I'm crossing right now. It's like, I'm bored to death. And it's like, those little phone calls mean the most. And it's like, it's a very tight group, and I appreciate it. I'm very fortunate to be in it and got to grow under the people that I have.
We're a roving circus carnival act, man. It doesn't matter where you go in the world and how long it's been since you've seen somebody. Um, it's like yesterday. It really is.
That's right.
You see somebody and it's like, hey, man, and you never say goodbye. There's never goodbyes, man. You might
Mm,
say, hey, I'm flying out tomorrow. Okay, come over here, give me some love, you
that's
know.
right.
But you never say goodbye, man. It's just, I'll catch you in the next one. I'll see you in the next rip, you know.
I love it.
It's
It's such a small world. It's like big ocean, little dock. That's what everybody
it
said. It's
it
like,
really is, man. And here's the great thing. And again, I've been blessed that I've gone to so many different countries. It doesn't matter. It truly it doesn't matter. I mean, we have our little circle here in the Gulf or on the East Coast, and you go to Bermuda, and you go to Costa Rica. But then, man, you open that up, you start going to uh, Hawaii, you start going to Australia, you start going to Japan. The circles may get less overlapping, but they still overlap. I go to Japan, and there's a lot of, mainly I see owners, boat owners, that I've seen them over here in the States. And now by the time I get over there, there's now, when I first started going over, there was like maybe two boat owners that I know. Now I know like a dozen of them that I've seen at the boat shows here. And then when I go to the Middle East, it's the same thing. And it don't matter, man. It really doesn't.
exactly.
If
I
you're
mean,
a fisherman, you're a
just
fisherman.
that's exactly right. And you're talking about people you see everywhere. And it's like, and it's a go right from the army to the fishing to the outfitter. Is 90% of my business is boat owners and crews. It's like
Yeah.
when COVID hit, I was about to go under. It's like me and my business partner Cody. It's like, we had it for a year. Everything's great. Says, man, I can't believe we've got this. And then COVID hit and we couldn't go to Canada the next year. And I was like, all this money we spent fishing to go up. I was like, we don't have anything. It's like, I remember, I said, when I bought that business, I didn't have any money in the bank account anyhow. I just made somebody believe in me, and it's like, it worked. I said, we got everything. We own everything now. And it's great. But it's like the sport fishing world. And I feel like it's so dear to my heart is I had to go out during that time. And it's like, I'm going to half price these hunts when I open back up. If you'll just believe in me a little bit now, I'll take care of you in the end. And it's like, you got owners, Team Supreme, my boss on the Miss Mary, you got Rising Suns that comes fish with us. I mean, a whole lot of other people, Bike Force, Pipe Down, everybody else that's coming there over the years and fish with us, they knew that I was struggling when we started. And they was like, here, we know how to get better. And since then, I started with 20 people. Now I've got 91 clients. So
So
just
let's being that you started that, let's go ahead and go into that. Let's talk about what it is you're doing with your outfitting service up in Canada.
well, I own the outfitter called Broken Oak Outfitters. It's with me and one of my best friends. We've got it all over the United States together. We got it for the Bryant family. We work with the Hicksons. I mean, Honey Break for a long time with that TV show. They're great people. And it's like one day I got up and I was like, man, I really want to go kill more ducks than what we're killing. Let's just go above the border somewhere. Then we started hunting in North Dakota a little bit. And boy, that was just want to pull your hair out. Everybody and their brother wanted to hunt there. And it's like, then we just kept going north. We finally found somewhere, and it was so long ago that we had a newspaper and we were just looking for a place to stay in there. And I was like, well, this is close. We'll go hunt here. Derek McDaniel's big outfitter out in Texas. He said, that's a good spot. Maybe you should try there. We hunted there a little bit. I was on at the time trying to fish, starting out as a second mate, making a little bit of money free or just fishing during the tournament season. So I had off during the winter. So I was like, we were going up there, robbing Peter to pay Paul, just trying to go see if we could make it work. And then finally we got that business and we started out renting houses from people. I mean, as small as you possibly could be in, but we built a little bit from there. When we bought an outfitter business, it had 15 bear tags or something like that. We sold those. I'm not a bear hunter. And then mostly you'll leave in fishing season about September, and then September 1 opens waterfowl season there. So we'll hunt there until October the 31st. Some people stay a little longer or whatever, but I'm not real fond of the cold. And all the ducks are starting to head south end, so we'll follow them down. So it's
Where
worked out very good for us.
where in Canada?
Saskatchewan, about an hour and a half above Saskatoon, and a little town called Mayfair. I'd like to think I'm the mayor.
Way up. You're way up there.
Yeah. I'd like to think over the years I've become the mayor of the town. Everybody else probably don't think that, but I'd like to think it.
Okay. I'm very fortunate. Every Sunday, doesn't matter where in the world I'm at. The week after Labor Day, usually I go up the Friday after Labor Day up to Nova Scotia, Canada. And I'm up there fishing with a friend of mine who has a lobster boat and he giant tuna fishes. And I stay up until Canadian Thanksgiving. Every
Right.
year, Canadian Thanksgiving is my last day. I try to finish fishing on that Saturday, and then they have dinner on the Sunday, Canadian Thanksgiving, and then I leave on Monday because I want to spend the day with his family. They've always,
They
I've been
love
going,
that.
oh my
Canadian
God.
Thanksgiving I go to about 3 or 4 a day on that day. They will make sure that you're coming there, and it's
Oh.
nice. They love it.
Oh my God, it is awesome. And I love it because it's the whole family. So it
Right.
gives me an opportunity. Hey guys, I'm leaving tomorrow. I don't have to drive around. And don't you ever leave without saying goodbye. Man, if you leave a Canadian town without saying goodbye, they will put a hex on you.
It's funny that most of the people that watch this that fishes it here, and they'll know that I have one owner up there that I forgot to take them some shrimp because the freezer went out, and that man didn't forget it for 3 years. He goes, my fields must not be good enough. I didn't get any shrimp. I was like, I'm sorry. I said, I'm so sorry. And then finally, for like 2 years after that, I said, I don't want to hunt your land. I just want you to have this beer and this shrimp and tell you thanks. And finally this year he let me start hunting again. I was like, thank God. So yeah, don't forget them. I promise. I was like, if I could go catch you some shrimp right now, I promise I would. I said, but I can't.
Yeah, but it's nice to be in those small towns. So I understand and I would love to call myself the mayor, but Captain Curtis is definitely the mayor, the guy that I fish with. His house is actually right at the entrance into the wharf. So everybody has to go by his house. So any day when you're just sitting at the kitchen table, anybody stops by, they're on their way to the boat or away from the boat. They stop by, they say hello. But what a nice town. I think there's maybe 97 people in the whole town.
There might be 37 in my town over there. And
Yeah, it's tiny.
it's funnier than that is, kind of everything's kind of bland. If you don't build something in Canada, a lot of those towns are the older homes and stuff. And it's like, we were very fortunate with the lodge that we've got. It sleeps 16 people. I mean, it's very big lodge. And everybody laughs about this, but I swear it's honest God truth. We were driving down the road one day and I saw this guy painting on the side of a building with a spray can painting. I said, look at that guy over there painting that mural on that wall. And I said, we should call that guy and see if he wants to paint a snow goose on the side of our lodge. And everybody laughed at it, but we stopped and asked him anyhow. So now my lodge in the middle of this town looks like a big mural of snow geese and ducks. And
He
there's
came and
people
did it.
literally, yeah, he come and done it for like a couple $1,000. And there are people come from hours away and take pictures of it. They'll knock on our door and they say, "Where'd you get that done?" I said, "I'd tell you, but you wouldn't believe me." I said, "It was just a Native American guy that's how he made his money, was painting with spray cans." He said, "I used to start it out on train cars." He said, "I got in trouble, so I started doing it professional." But it's funny.
Is he a member of the band?
I think so.
Okay. Only somebody that's been to Canada understands that.
Yes.
I'm a card carrying band member, man.
Absolutely. Man, I love the business. I was fortunate to have it. Like I said, we started out very small. We were leasing 2 or 3 houses. And over the years, when COVID wasn't good on anybody,
No.
and a lot of these places, we had a government old folks home that we ended up buying, and it has 4 apartments in it, 4 full apartments, sleep 16 people, has big kitchens, industrial size, everything that you would need. So it's like it was an answer from God when we found it. So we've been running it strong. I think we've had that house 5 seasons now. We've been living in it.
Okay.
It's good. Mm-hmm.
How long have you been going to Canada?
10 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pretty
10
much.
years, maybe 12.
I started going at 16.
Yep. I think 10 years, maybe 11 was the first time we went. We'd always hunted somewhere else. I grew up hunting in the timber of Arkansas, so never really needed to go anywhere else. And then I think the internet helps a lot of things, and I think the internet harms a lot of things. So we had to go.
It's a double-edged sword, man.
It is. It is.
It's a double-edged sword. Are you hunting over fields? Is that what you're hunting?
Yep. An ongoing joke for us is that Lawrence Rowland has come and hunted with me every year I've had it, and he's wore house slippers to every single hunt. He said he's going to make a point that say that you can hunt with me in house slippers everywhere we go.
That's awesome.
We have big A-frame
awesome.
blinds. We'll put 2 or 3 together, and I don't like to hunt over 14 at a time, but I like to hunt at least 8 at a time because it's usually so fast paced. If you only have 4, 5, 6 people hunting, it's over in about 40 minutes. And then somebody's looking at you like, well, that really wasn't all that fun. But
yeah, now what do we do?
Yeah. So we ride around and look at elk and stuff.
Listen, there's worse things to do.
Yeah, it's worse things to do for sure. But it's been a really successful business. And I mean, I've had to slow down a little bit on the hunting side because I kind of, growing on the fishing side over the years. But when I got out of the Army and before we got cut off on the first time, is the only reason I even fished was when I was in the Army. I was in a tent, and it was in 2012, and somebody brought a big stack of magazines by. And I said, well, give me that magazine. And I was looking at it, and I was like, look, it's sport fishing. I had no idea what sport fishing was. It was in the bike. And I was looking at it, and I said, I was turning them pages, and somebody had sent 4 or 5 in a care package or whatever. And I told my buddy, I said, if I could do something different, I said, I certainly wouldn't be on this damn tent in Afghanistan. I said, I'd be around all these big titty women on these sport fishing boats and winning all this money catching blue marlin. I said, the next day, the good Lord saw fit that that's what I was going to go learn to do. I had to fake it till I made it, So I got out pretty fast, and I got a real nice car tag out of it. I get to park in front of most one spots in Walmart now. But
are you Purple Heart?
I am.
What you missing something or?
I got something added. There's a cadaver in through here.
Okay.
Yeah. Wrong place, wrong time. The bob one I should have weaved.
Unfortunately, that's life. Sometimes we, like you said, you zig instead of you should have zagged.
That's right.
But the good thing is you still have your life. That's the most important part, man.
Oh yeah. You can't kill me. You can't kill me.
Listen, you may say that. The good Lord's going to take us all one day. That's the only guarantee in this life.
I've still left to make somebody smile, though, so I'm going to be around for a little bit, I'm sure. I get my happiness out of most people, I'm surprised when you introduce me as Jeremy, most people's not going to know me as Jeremy. It's an ongoing thing in the Gulf. I'm Alan.
You're Alan. Why are you Alan?
Hangover.
Hold on. I because of hangover?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean Alan from The Hangover?
Yeah. When I first started working for Mitch Jurisich on the second wind, that boat got brought in. I'd always been on a Viking. I was working with John and Lawrence on a Viking, and they were fishing to go do something else, and they weren't going to need another mate. So it's time for me to move on up. And I said, I saw this badass 72 F&S coming up the water, and I said, who is that? And they said, well, that's Marlon Brown's new boat. I said, all right. I said, I'm going to go ride on that boat. And it just so happened Marlon called me the next day, and he goes, I need somebody to go fishing. I said, you can say less. Just tell me where to be at. I said, I'll be there tomorrow. So I drove to Venice. I wish I hadn't had to drive to Venice, but I got there, and I saw this big old Mitch used to be a lot chunkier than what he was. Now he done lost all this weight. I saw this real big fat guy in a white shirt and some like Hanes shorts and some flip flops unloading some water over behind this boat. And I said, that's a nice guy. And I waved at him. He goes, hey, who are you? And I said, I introduced myself. I said, I'm Jeremy. And I said, who are you? And he goes, I'm Mitch. He goes, what are you doing? I said, I'm going to go fish on that badass boat right there this weekend. And he goes, oh, he goes, that's cool. And I went on about my business, kept unloading stuff, whatever. And I shook my hand at the end. I said, what do you do? He goes, I own that bad son bitch right there.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, okay. So I never left. I stayed there for a few more years, man. And Mitch got on one day and he goes, has anybody ever told you look like Alan off The Hangover? And I said, yeah. So then he bought a doll, and I had to carry Carlos around with me and dress like freaking Hangover just about
Like
everywhere I
Alan.
went.
You
And
know,
then,
only because I know them Gulf Coast tournaments, could I offer you a really funny suggestion? You may want to travel with two ferns and have a couple of chairs and invite everybody to have what is it, a talk between two
caught
ferns?
between the two ferns. That's when we were leaving the second leg of the Los Sueños tournament last year. I could hear. I said, "Somebody's hollering Allen across the water over there." And Pugsley looks up and he goes, "Look left," and it's Bubba Carter over there, and he going, "Allen." I said, well, "I guess if Bubba Carter's gonna call me Allen, I guess I'm gonna be Allen. I guess." I said, "This is."
Listen, that is one of the baddest motherfuckers out there. If he's going, as long as he's calling you, you're doing
Yeah,
good,
that's what I
man.
said. I said, I guess I made it. He knows me as Allen. We won a tournament in Biloxi one time, and my mom traveled all the way from North Mississippi down. She goes, I can't wait to see this. She goes, I've never been to any tournament to see it. And they introduced me as Alan as the first mate. And she got so messed up. She goes, well, they call you Alan. I said, well, that's what they call me, Mom, is Alan. I don't answer to Jeremy here. It's always Alan. So,
Listen, my God-given name is Robert, and I answer to Fly. That's it.
yeah, I've
So,
been called a lot worse, so it don't bother me as much anymore.
oh, trust me, I think I've been called worse just today alone.
I know I have.
You
But
know, so now when you're up in Canada, what kind of ducks are you shooting? They just all
they
mallards?
start out all brown
Okay.
because it's real early. But we shoot mallards, gadwalls, pintails. 90% of what you shoot is going to be mallards and pintails. You have a
Okay.
lot of gadwalls come in. We've killed wood ducks, but I think they followed us up there. Dry field wood duck hunting's kind of weird to me seeing that up there, but in a handful of times we will. We'll shoot all our geese. You have all your white geese, and then you'll have your dark geese, which be lessers and graders, and then
Okay.
same. And a lot of specks. When we first started going up there, you might could kill a couple of lemon speckle bellies, but now if you set up for you, you can kill all you want. So
Have you ever fished out of North Carolina?
never.
All right. If you ever get the opportunity, have you ever heard of Bull Tolson?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If you ever get the opportunity, either fish up there or come across Bull Tolson, you just ask him about the old speckle belly. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not going to go let him tell you the story because
Oh,
I
I sure will. I
remember,
know a lot of people that knows him. He's got a large name that follows him for sure.
yeah, and it well deserved.
Yeah.
Well
I
deserved.
think isn't he running that new Duffy?
Good question. I don't know. He might be. Whoa, which new Duffy?
The American Beauty or whatever?
No, no, no. Cujo's running that.
Cujo's running that. Okay.
Yeah,
No, I
Cujo's
thought
running that.
I don't know what boat Bull's running.
Bull runs. He's always run well, all the time I've known him. He's run the Sea Toy.
That's exactly.
Uh,
That's right.
yeah, but I didn't know if they got a new boat. But
No, no, no. That was
once you
funny
said the
because
Duffy
Joseph was
boat,
telling me yesterday that
yeah.
he went to work for him, and I thought for some reason I thought he said Bull, but now you're
No,
right. He said Cujo. Yeah.
he said, yeah, because I
Yeah.
talked to him. Cujo's birthday is December 22nd. So anybody that's listening, mark it down on your calendar. I always call him up 22nd or 23rd so I can wish him happy birthday and Merry Christmas all at the same time. It's just, it's almost like clockwork. I don't forget. Cujo's exactly 10 years older than me. And he opened up quite a few doors for me when I was younger.
And then he went fishing. I think Who's not important? Went blank. But yes, I've heard a lot of good names. A lot of good names, man. He's something else. I hope to be half as good as most of these people that we talk about one day. If I can be as cool, know as much, half enough of what most people's forgot, I'll be doing all right.
Listen, I'm working towards half even today, man. And I'm just lucky. I get to call a lot of these guys my friends. You know, that's the craziest part is I just absolutely like the other day when I interviewed Chase, we were sitting there shooting the shit, and he reminded me that he was up in Bermuda when we were down there. He was 22 years old. And I was like, oh, that's right. You worked with PJ. So, yeah, that's the
Really
great
like
part.
Chase. I've known Chase for a long time, and he's always been very nice to me. And Chase comes and hunts with us up there and stuff. And it's like he's always so humble. He smiles, very soft spoken.
He's a great dude.
Yeah,
He's a great dude. He's a great fisherman.
yeah, he's a good fisherman. Sometimes it sucks fishing under him, but so just like, give Chase the money.
Listen, every once in a while when the Hoover misses something,
That's
you
it.
get to go by and pick it up, but the Hoover usually gets it, man.
That's it. A lot of really outstanding fishermen in this business, and I was like, it's fun watching them do their thing.
No, that's again, it goes back to we're a fraternity, man.
That's right.
We truly are. We're a fraternity. We have
I
I don't know
remember
how I don't know how better to describe it.
I'll get in here looking like I'm trying to solve a murder. Sometimes I'll be looking over here to see what the water was or the current or which way it was going a certain way and seeing if I knew where he was. I was like, look like I'm solving a mystery over here with my yarn on the board, just trying to see what he's figured out that ain't nobody else got. And I was like, it's fascinating.
It's
I lie awake at night trying to outsmart people and shit. So I like it.
I was taught at an early age, son, you talk about a blue marlin that's got a brain this big and you're trying to outthink it.
That's right.
You go past it, man. You just go past it. It's it's a simple cat and mouse game. It it really truly is. It's a simple cat and mouse game. Can you pick up a mousetrap better than somebody else, or can you figure out a mousetrap that works for you? It doesn't even have to be better than anybody else. Does it work for you?
Duck hunting is the same exact way. That's what we feel like. It's a half a dozen outfitters up there that's trying to do the same thing you are. That's got the same stuff that you got. There's nothing that's changed of it. You just got to outsmart them and do it faster than the person that's trying to do it too. There is no difference.
100%. You just, don't get me wrong. There's always, when it's a scratch and a pick, there's some of those little tricks always help when it's a scratch and a pick. But other than that, like you said, everybody's doing the same thing, and you just got to be at the right time, at the right place. And it's good to have good intel and good information.
It is. It's very good. It's fascinating to watch some of these guys grow out here and how fast it is because they're really figuring it out. A lot of people want to blame the sonar or whatever, but you can take the sonar away from most of these boys. They're going to still figure it out.
They're going to still catch them, man.
Yeah.
They're going to still catch them.
So
they were catching them.
Like
they were catching them before.
That's right.
Now it's just okay. So you get to you're looking at a screen as opposed to looking through a pair of binoculars.
Yeah, we can save bait now. It's like now you ain't got to waste as much bait. It's like especially on our side of it. It's like so just little tricks that everybody's got. I mean, like same exact way, no different than the waterfowl side. If you just have tricks.
On the waterfowl side, how many days are you hunting overall?
I'll hunt a group 3 days. I'll take a half a day off, and they'll come in that night, and I'll hunt a group 3 more days. I have 2 scouts that work under me and another guide, and then so pretty much I run about 1,000 miles a day between 2 trucks, 3 trucks, trying to figure out where they're going to go the next day. We may hunt. And that's just one truck's not going 1,000 miles. You take all the people scouting and add it to it, we're going to burn about 1,000 miles of fuel. But it's like, for the most part, you'll have a zone that you hunt in and you may go. I may travel an hour a day this way, and tomorrow we may come an hour and a half north. And it's like, even when Chase and him was hunting with us when the Team Spring was there, we would hunt at a place probably an hour and a half north of us. We'd hunt there one day, and then we'd have to go an hour south. You got to find the birds. I mean, you can't say no. So luckily, knock on wood, that I've been fortunate enough that I don't have many bad hunts up there. If you hire good people, they're going to find them, and then it's up to you. I can take care of the rest. You find them eating, I'll take care of the rest.
So
So
it's no different than fishing.
no, man, and it's like it's just I get so fascinated with the sail fishing side of it, and listening to people's like watching that current and the bait moving and stuff like that. It's like you can treat them birds the same way. It's like if that bird eats in that spot for 3 days and he leaves that water and he goes to it, it don't matter if it's a half a mile, 1 mile, or whatever. If he eats, God himself on the fourth day ain't going to change that bird's mind. He's coming there. That's all he knows. He don't know that
Yeah.
there's food somewhere else. So if you can do that and build enough rapport in the area that you're at, you'll have them. You just got to go set up on them. And it's like at that point in time, you drop a pin on them, they'll have decoys set up. You just go kill them. So
I tell this story quite often. I don't tell all the people, just when you're sitting somewhere having lunch, or one of my favorite things to do in the springtime, usually May, maybe early June, is you can watch a patch of water. Well, I don't necessarily look at the water charts. If I was still fishing, I'd probably be looking at the water charts, but I don't really have to. I can look at Facebook and you can see a body of fish that moves into like Abacos. Then a day later, it's up in Walkers. The next thing you know, they're catching him off either the corner or Canaveral. Then, like 3, 4 days later, they're in Charleston. And then they're off of Moorhead. And all you're doing is watching Facebook because your friends that are fishing in the Abacos are catching them. Then your friends that are in Walkers are catching them. Then your friends off of Canaveral are catching. So you see the whole body of fish move up the coast. And it's not just blue marlins, man. Everybody posts a picture. Oh yeah, we were 4 for 6 today. But then you see all these tunas, you see all these Dorados, and it's a body of water that's just moving up from the Bahamas all the way up the East Coast, and it's pretty cool. If
yeah,
you pay attention to it, you realize, oh, there's that whole body of fish moving.
it's fascinating. It's like Larry, he's always been so fascinated at it. And he's the one that explained that to me. He goes, you can watch for these guys. He said, they'll go far up north. And he goes, then they'll start following them back down when they catch them. And he goes, that's where you'll really figure these fish out. And he goes, if they're biting here and the current's here on this day, and you know that if you're smart enough to know that it's going to move at this by this time of the day, this fish should be right here if you're looking at that current. And I was like, that's so fascinating to me because it's the same way with the birds, and it's like it's it's cool. We figured this way out, and it's like you can get paid to do all this stuff. I love it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and I don't listen. Don't get me wrong. I love that people post the pictures of what they're catching and they're enjoying it, and their bosses are enjoying it, or their charters enjoying it. But there's so much information out there that you can clump it all together.
Right.
You're like, oh, there they are. You know, or maybe there's some bad weather somewhere. So maybe off of Canaveral, you don't see it for a couple of days. And it's like, man, are those fish going to hang around long enough for the weather to move out, or are they going to miss out on that body of fish? You might get another one a week later.
Dude, we get scared like that if a snowstorm comes, and everybody knows Canada's full of snow, and it's usually 4, 5, 6 years ago we would have a snow or two in September. The last 3 years it's been 90 degrees all the way through September. We're hunting in shorts and a t-shirt, but it's like if those big snows come and it just happens to give you a freak accident when these birds are coming off the potholes up there, they will bypass you. And it's
Wow.
like then you're in trouble. It's like you're going to get some more birds back, and if the weather kind of gets shitty below, then some of them may even push back. It's like, but that's a scared thought. You may be in an area that if the weather depended on that, you may lose that whole big patch. It's like most of the time in September, we've always towards the end we have a lot of snow geese. This year, I don't feel like the snow geese really got there until like 2 weeks before we were supposed to leave. Our numbers are still good. We usually keep our numbers pretty high on limits, but it's like
Yeah.
you can kill a lot more snow geese than you can ducks up there for your limit. So it's like usually a lot of our good hunts are off snow geese because you can go and kill 200 plus on a hunt.
Wow. Wow. I killed one snow goose and it was in Louisiana. Those were some loud bastards coming in. You could
They're
hear that
loud.
thing. My God, you could hear that thing a mile away.
They're loud, and a damn goose produces like a half a pound of shit a day by itself. So it's like you picture all them geese shitting in that lake. I don't see how a duck likes them anyhow. By the time they get to Arkansas, they've split. There's nothing likes to get with them. I would hate to sit in a dang reservoir all night long while they were shitting on me and making all that noise. It's like people love shooting them, and as an outfitter, I love people seeing them big spins or whatever. But I hate the way they smell when we clean them. I hate all. They're just little shit eaters.
Goose. I kind of wish I liked goose because when I'm in Nova Scotia, they got a lot of Canadian geese there.
A lot of
Uh,
people love them, and I think that you can make leather taste good if you cook good enough. But it's like a lot of our guys like them, but I promise I've killed so many of them over the years that when you cook them, it doesn't matter how you cook them. That's just what I smell. And it's like we're lucky enough that we one thing that we do, what reminds me a lot about your fishing tournaments here is there's food banks all over. So if you go and
yeah,
you pay the money to get that food minced up or, processed, just not so you're going up there and giving them 20-pound bags of just shitty goose breast, or duck
yeah.
breast or whatever. If you take the time and the effort, somebody's really going to get a lot out of that food. And about 50% of the food that we carry over there, we give away to the families there that enjoy eating it or less fortunate people. There's one of our farmers, their wife teaches at a Native American school up there, and she takes as much as she can take with them to get them. So it's good.
Oh
Not that
wow. That,
I didn't want it to sound like, well, I hate geese and I hope nobody does it. It was like a lot of people do like eating them. It's just I'm not one of those people.
yeah, I'm not, I've had it a few times, and if I went to somebody's house and they made some, I'll eat it. But for me to actually go out and shoot them and to do something in the afternoons after we're done fishing to go out and shoot some geese, I'd rather not.
Yeah.
You
We
know.
we like the duck poppers. I like duck breasts. Everybody puts the wrap them in bacon, cream cheese stuff. And when you come in from hunts, you have the big fire. Everybody likes putting duck poppers. But if I have a perfectly good steak in the refrigerator, I'm not fisting to go overlook that steak and get me a real nice snow goose breast throw on the grill
Well,
that night.
now I will. I have to give him lots of kudos. There's I'm sure there's more than one person. I've had duck a few times and it hasn't been bad. But the person that really knows how to cook them is Keith Richardson, that used to own the Houdat.
Mm-hmm. Keith
That
does.
man, he does an unbelievable duck.
I've actually had some of his before, and he has a really nice duck camp. He he likes
Have
it
you
about
been
as
to
much
have you
as
been to the
anybody.
Kunas Hilton?
I have not ever hunted there, but I've hunted right beside it and right up it, and that's he hunts as much as anybody does. He every day he posts. He enjoys it, and I like it. I like seeing it. Him and
Yeah,
Caleb
no.
used to post every day, and I think that's awesome. If you can do that with your son, have good hunts.
I think it's phenomenal. And the one time I killed a snow goose was at the Kunas Hilton. It was, I had
Jeremy
a great
Ball's
time.
got my boss has a really nice place down there too, and they hunt. I don't ever go because I feel like I'm a little tired of duck hunting by the time I get back to the United States. But they have it, and I enjoy seeing it because you don't ever know. It really is a sportsman's paradise in Louisiana because you can go catch all your fish, you can kill your ducks, whatever, and you're going to eat real good. You're not going to starve.
It's funny because I just texted a buddy of mine yesterday. He's out of town. He's up for some wedding up in the Northeast. I'm like, hey, when you get back, give me a call. I got pinged to put a trip together in Venice, and I know you mentioned you wanted to do it. So let me know. Give me a call so we can start planning something and not go offshore. Just go catch some redfish and some trout and buy some shrimp and eat food and talk shit. I'm good at talking shit now. Um,
I don't think we're all good at talking
I've
shit.
got a PhD in talking shit.
I feel like that's part of the job interview. If you're going to fish, you got to have tough skin and got to be able to talk shit. If not, you're not going to make
My
it.
God. My boss on the real type, I used to I was very blessed that I got to speak at his celebration of life. And one of the things I said was, when you stepped on our boat, people call it a cockpit, but it was more like an octagon because you had to be tough, man. You had to be tough, man. It don't matter what you do. If you do something bad, you're gonna get fucked with. But if you
Yeah,
do something too good, you're gonna get fucked with
you're
just
gonna
the
get fucked
same.
with. It's like, what are you
You're
trying to
gonna get
prove?
fucked with too. Don't do too good of a job or don't get cocky at it, man.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah,
And
no, it's a big thing.
I love the life. Ever like I made a joke about it earlier. I was like, forever when I got out of the army, I was joking about it. I was looking. That was a very true story about the magazine. I said that the next day all that shit changed, and I said, well, I got to go do this. But you really get back at home and you're kind of laid up, and you go, I don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow. And it's like in the back of my mind, I wanted to do that fishing. And I said, but it's kind of hard to go from even if it's just regular infantry. There's not much of job calling in this world once you leave the military. So I didn't really know what I was going to do. It's like spent the long doing something I didn't want to farm and do anything else, and I was kind of chasing that adrenaline rush at the time. I was like, I want to go do something fun, and And I've told everybody, most anybody that's ever fished with me, somebody said, "What's it like in combat?" And this is the closest I can tell you of it. When you see that leader start coming up to that swivel and you grab a hold of that leader and you wrap it the first time, that's as close to combat as you'll ever get. I get more of an adrenaline rush off wiring a blue marlin than I do any firefight I ever got in. So I love it. And that's one day I grab a hold of it and I don't like it anymore. I'll probably stop.
It's definitely an adrenaline rush.
It is.
I am hooked on the adrenaline rush. The only thing, and I've been super blessed since I was 18 years old, and I fished some really cool places. I don't even have to wire them anymore. I mean, don't get me wrong. I want to wire them. I want to wire them, or I want to run the boat. But if I get to sit there or stand there and watch somebody catch it for the first time, bro, I get so excited about that. I love
Same.
watching somebody catch it for the first time. I don't care. As long as I can be a part of it. Oh, the lights just flickered again. Listen, if it goes off, I will pause this and then we'll regroup and then I'll butt it up. We'll just splice it together. But
Sounds
I
good.
saw a flicker.
I
What
saw.
it is, that cold front that went through you guys yesterday is coming through us now. So
Yeah, it's coming for you. The I forgot when the light flickered where we were at on that, but it was I guess
about watching somebody catch their first blue marlin.
that's the same way with like the duck hunting stuff. Is like I honestly don't those big spins of birds or whatever, they don't really get me no more. But I can look down that line of that blind, and there's 10 to 12 people over there, or this year, and I won't say his name or the boat that it was on, but his dad was first time he'd got to go in a long time fishing. And I get a lot of father sons coming there and hunt, but during one of them, he started crying about halfway to the end. He goes, I'm 86 years old, and I've never saw anything like this before. And I got to, he said, and he had three of his sons there with him. And I was like, that meant more to me than anything. I was like, that old man's done made it through 80 something years of life. And I said, this thing that I'm overlook half the time, I said, that was magic to him. And I said, it's special to me. Or watching that kid come up out of that hole for the first time, or like you said, or that young second mate, when he's live baiting, you watch him line it up and it finally hooked up and he didn't pull it out. I was like, that's what makes you come back for more. Because I know
Damn
everybody in
straight
there
it
is like,
does.
yeah, it's like that's what gets you excited. And that's what makes
I,
me happy too, as the outfitter. It's like I love seeing
yeah.
people have fun.
So when you when you got out of the army and you decided you wanted to do this for a living, walk us through how you got your first job. What'd you do? Who'd you pick up the phone and call? What was the whole thing? Did you have an in into the industry?
I had friends that I would follow that I knew. There was a charter boat guy down here that I'd hunted with in Arkansas a whole lot, and I knew that it existed. I knew that it was here, and I'd always kind of fascinated when I'd hunt with him. I'd ask him about it, but when I started going, Dick Capper, he was running he just took a 58 Buddy Davis at the time, and they were needing somebody to fish, and man, I'll never forget. It don't bother me at an older age to tell somebody when I messed up a lot, but Dick tried to make me quit every day. And he told me in the end, he said, I'm going to make you quit. And I said, because he said, I done raised enough kids. He said, I ain't trying to raise another one. And I was like, well, you don't have a mate, so you got to teach me how. I said, we're going to work together in this. But in the end, now he's like a granddad to me. I love him like he's my own granddad. And it's like, we got past that in about 6 months when I finally started getting better at fishing. But when I left, like he told me, he goes, you got to go do something else to learn. You're not getting the marlin fish enough. And the funny story that I tell everybody when I met John and Lawrence when they had first moved back from traveling is Dick said, we're going to get picked up in the morning, so we didn't got to have the truck. The boat was hauled out at Barber's. He goes, we're going to get picked up in the morning. And he said, Lawrence is going to take us to work. And he goes, we'll take the boat back to the slip. I was like, all right. I got in this vehicle with this guy. He's an older guy. Never met Lawrence before. And I tell everybody this, and a lot of people told me, he said, very few people's met Larry. Most people know Lawrence, and hardly anybody's ever met Lorenzo. But he's all three alive and well. So it's like I got the Lawrence that day. That was the first day I met him, and I never forget when I sat back in this SUV, I started looking over my shoulder and being in the Army, there's a truckload of guns in the back seat. And I was like, golly, what is this? And I don't say nothing. They're in the front talking. I don't know what to talk about anything. This went on. We didn't get done the first day. We still had to stay at the yard 2 more days. So he picked us up for work every day. The second day, I'm listening to him talk again. I'm looking, there's more guns in the back. And I was like, something's going on. I just don't have the heart to ask just yet. And the third day, I got dropped off by myself. And Lawrence was sitting there and he goes, can I ask you something? And I said, yeah. He goes, why don't you ask me nothing about fishing or where I've been or anything like that? And I said, I'm trying to learn how to fish. I don't need to learn how to sand the boat. And he goes, you think I work at Barber's? He goes, I don't work at Barber's. My boat is over here. And he goes, and I would never forget, he went and told John, he goes, see here, we left, and now I'm going to be remembered as a boat sander in the yard. And I laughed. But honestly, Lawrence is probably one of my very best friends. I think he's actually, if my kid had a godfather, it's Lawrence. And they kind of took me under their wing. And like I said, there's a handful of people that when I started this, I don't have a clue why they liked me, because I didn't have any idea how to fish, but it was just like, good Lord see fit, put good people in my life. So between Jamie and John and Lawrence and freaking Burbeck, I talked to Burbeck probably more than I talked to anybody in my entire life. And it's like, between those guys, always setting me up for success and getting good, letting me come fishing with them and letting me do everything else, letting me work under them. It's like, that's kind of the reason I have a captain's license, and I've been taught by a lot of good people. But I was fascinated that Lawrence likes to square into that boat a lot, and I was like, that's where I find my happiness out of it. And I said, I'm still able to. I said, if I just become a really good fisherman, I'll still be able to hunt too for 45 days out of the year. And I said, maybe this all work out. So I don't have it figured out yet, but it's working. But
Listen, you'll never figure it out, and I don't mean nothing against you. None of us get it all figured out. Just when you think you got it figured out, a wrench gets thrown into everything. So just be ready and flexible and just go with the flow, man.
that's kind of what I've always done. That's like where I didn't know how to, and I felt like I didn't really tell you the reason that Dick tried to make me quit every day was I didn't know how to do anything. I just a little bit of snapper fishing at the time, and I was fishing to go out on this brand new sport fishing boat, and he's like, "You don't know anything." I said, "Well, I'm a fast learner." I said maybe I can figure this out, and I did. I figured it out, and now I'm proud of myself where I'm at. I'm
How
happy.
many years has it been that you've been in the industry?
This 2012 is when I moved back to. I got out of the army in 2014. I come over here and help some charter fishing during the summer, but I haven't worked on a sport fishing boat. I started on a sport fishing boat in 2015.
Okay.
Yeah,
So you got a decade under you. That's great.
yeah. I see, and there's nothing against you. I see a lot of young boys out here that's been in the cockpit for a year, and they run up in the on the wheelhouse, and they're doing great. They're catching fish, but I guess my nerves and the old man in me, a lot of it's like I can fish this thing and I can drive it, but it's the other things. Just like I feel like in order to be a really good captain, you have to spend some time downstairs, and it's like learn. You take a little bit, some bad shit out of a lot of people, and you take some good shit out of a lot of people, and it's like I'm fascinated by a lot of these young boys that's been, grow up in the water, but it's like they come on this side for a little bit, and then they jump in the upstairs, and that's power to them. But I really liked, on my opinion, I feel like people should stay downstairs a little longer, try to travel where they can, because Lawrence told me, a long time ago, and Jamie, one of the main ones, he goes, it ain't how many fish you've caught in your lifetime, it's how many you caught last week. And he goes, you can go anywhere in the world, catch fish somewhere it's easy. He goes, but you got to do that shit day in and day out. And I was like, that stuff stuck with me. And it's like, I told S feller, he tried to get me for 5 years to come down there and fish. And I was like, oh, I'm all right. I'm all right. And then when I went down there, I was like, I don't want to leave here. This is the greatest place I've ever saw. And it's like, it's so fascinating, but it's like, and he was world. He goes, you see so many people, and he's like, not to talk anything about the Gulf, but I got friends. It's all over the world. And he goes, you can't call yourself a professional fisherman if you only fish one body of water. And it's like a lot of people, they do. And it's like, and I may be wrong on that. And I'm sure there's a lot of people going to see this and say, you don't know what you're talking about. But the people who taught me, that's how they feel. And it's like, I feel like that I need to fish in a few more places before I go anywhere else. And I was like, I'm not really in a hurry to go upstairs. I like downstairs. It's like I like to square into that boat. Somebody else will worry about the pointing in.
I over the years when I'm in the cockpit, there is you know the difference, and I'm not making fun of anybody because I have fished with some great fishermen, but you know the ones that spent a lot of time in the cockpit because they make it easy for you.
Right.
They make that little turn of the boat as you're trying to slide something out. It's like, whoa, they clear that little path for you to get it out. It's like, hey man, I saw you sliding it out. Let me,
Yeah, and
and it's those little things that really, really add up.
it is, and it's like I said, not anything against it because there's some boys coming up right now over here that's some of the youngest young men I've ever seen, and you better not blink on them because they're gonna get you in a hurry. They'll pass you up, and
Yeah.
it's like I'm fascinated by it. It's like I ain't gonna name drop just a lot, but there's a lot of young boys just took some really nice boats over there, and they're coming up from the bottom, and I get fascinated by it because I see them when they were mating on other places, and I was like, I bet you're gonna do real good one day, and boy, you did. They coming out of their shells, and it's like I know that a lot of people do it, but this is just what's different about me. I like the square end. I like still being able to do what I do, and I love people. I love making people laugh on the back of the boat. I can change it in a hurry. If we're not catching any fish, I can make it work.
Okay.
So,
Now, tell me about your first blue marlin.
oh, I was with Lawrence.
Okay.
I was with Lawrence, and it was funny. It was the same day that we were was Marlin and them. I just started fishing with them. We went to Bigfoot, and I never got to wire Marlin. I've just always watched everybody else. And he goes, "All right, it's your turn." And so I got it, and I said, I was so fascinated on seeing that fish biter and how it went, and it was like it was a fun weekend. We didn't have a tournament or anything like that, and he was walking me through it, and I kind of felt like I was like, that's because in your mind you're thinking the second you touch that line, he goes, this some bitch is fishing to jerk me off this boat and they're never going to see me again. And I'd been watching, and that little kid, and it's like I laugh about it. My son's probably back watching YouTube videos right now, but before I did it, I was in there just watching what people was doing and all this other stuff. And he's like, he was big. He goes, don't try to get all them wraps. He goes, you just brought that fish a quarter mile up there on 20 pounds. He goes, you don't got to put 400 pounds in it right now. He goes, fingertip that thing. I was like, I don't want to fingertip it. I want to wire it. Look good. So it was, I mean, that one stuck with me. It was just about a 250-pound fish, and it's it's what started this fire, I guess.
What was it live bait or was
Live
it on
bait.
a lure? It was live
Live
bait.
bait. Mm-hmm.
Did you see him come
I
up and eat
started
it?
out live baiting. The boats that I worked on was when the live baiting was coming alive, and then here recently, the boat I got on's been more lures and stuff, and we've really made a showing for it in the last couple of seasons with lures. And hell, I love it. I like the pitch. I like the live bait. We've got them in the back. We got a big fancy sonar, but it sure is nice watching that big blue marlin come up on that teaser. So I enjoy lures.
I uh I just like to see him eat. That's my biggest thing.
Yeah,
I love to see it. Blue marlins know how to do three things. They know how to swim, make other marlins, and eat.
that's it.
And I've seen them swim, and that's cool. I don't necessarily need to see them make little babies,
Yeah,
but eat. Oh my God, do I love to see them eat?
it's amazing to watch them fish. I mean, it'll get your adrenaline. You'll watch. It's like that's what gets me going. Watching that fish come up on that thing, or knowing it, or somebody can call it. It's like, all right, I got it on the bottom machine. Just knowing any second it's fishing to come up there behind it, and it's like it's fascinating to me. I mean, especially not getting to grow up into that life, and then just how I kind of got thrown into it. It's like I love it. I don't really see myself doing much anything else.
I like to hear that because I love my industry. I love to see people that come into the industry, that stay in the industry. And when I say that, it doesn't matter whether you're coming in as a deckhand, if you're coming in as a captain or an owner. There's nothing that bothers me more than losing a good person from the industry. I've seen it
Right.
too many times, whether uh, somebody gets into drinking too much and make a couple bad decisions, and then they can't fish anymore, or somebody buys a boat and doesn't have a good time and decides they want to go a different direction, and it bothers me.
Well,
I like to see people that add to the industry.
a lot. I feel like a lot of people, it's up to us in order. Just like you said, they'll get the boat and then they'll leave it. A lot of that is up to us. As a crew, you can burn these people out real fast. In the years that I've been in here, it's like you get a lot of people that run in and want the best stuff to start with, that they want to go to these tournaments. And what's so weird is and what I've just gathered in the years that I've done it is a lot of people do try to leave this industry, but we get paid really good and we have a good time, and then we end up going to do something else. You realize that, one, you're not having that much fun as you was having. Two, the money's probably not near as good. But you got to think, in order for us to keep this industry alive, on what I've saw, is you can't go into these new owners that don't know everything about fishing and go, we got to join this tournament. We got to get Chase to build all these rods. We got to have these reels blueprinted. We got to do all this stuff. It's like, go out there and let's not recreate the wheel. Let's show them what a blue marlin looks like. And I feel like if you get some of the older crews that I've worked for, they've been on their new owners about a boat like that. They say, let's go have a good time first. And if we get good at it, let's go win a little bit of money, because you're on top of everybody else. And that anybody that will listen to this know that you don't make money in this business. We just able to make it to the next one. That's all.
That's 100% the truth.
Mm-hmm.
You don't fish the tournaments to make a whole business out of it, man.
No, and it's like I love seeing some of these owners that you come. I've been fortunate enough to work for probably all my owners have been out of Louisiana, and I think they've got the biggest heart of anybody that I've ever worked for. May change it up sometime or another, but right now it's just like these people are good. They'll tell you, it's like, I want to. Mr. Rod says, I want to have a good time. He goes, I want my wife to have a good time, and it's like, if we can have a good time, we'll always keep this business, because that's what they go and do their work. They work hard. It may be our job here, but they work hard to come in and do this right now. So it's up to us as a good crew. You may be having a bad day, but you better smile for them. It's like, make sure they have, because when they stop having a good time, we all gonna stop having a good time.
We are 100% in the entertainment business.
That's right.
Our job is to entertain people. Whether you're working on a boat full time, whether you're chartering, we're entertainers.
Yeah, you got to have a servant's heart to do this. I mean, I've said it forever. It's like, you got to make other people happy, and you got to want them to have a good time.
Exactly.
Yeah, you got to want to see them smile. If they smile, I promise we'll all smile. We'll get football places. They get new boats, stuff like that. But it's up to us to keep this stuff going.
Make sure they look forward to coming down to that boat every time.
That's right.
They look forward to seeing you or talking to you. I mean, I was blessed when I was on the Reel Tide. I absolutely love Jim Lambert, and I love to talk to him. And every time I got the opportunity to talk to him, if it was walking across the street to his house, or seeing him on the boat, or hey, we just got a new bag of lures. Do you want to see it?
Yeah.
You want me to bring them up to the house? Because again, we're all a bunch of 16-year-old kids that like to go fishing.
Oh man, that's probably how me and Burbank got so close. Is he's probably got more lures than anybody I know, and I'll go buy one, and I'll send him a picture to it, or he'll say, "Oh, I got 3 of those. I'll bring you another color bottle." So he'll get it, and it's like, I love collecting those lures, man. It's like just
Joey's good people. I've known Joey, holy smokes, since the mid or early 90s. Joe, I think we're about the same age. I think we're off by maybe a year or two. I don't know who's in the lead.
He's the only person I probably knows that stays up like I do and builds stuff in the middle of the night. And if it don't work, I'll just throw it in the side of the floor. I'll say, it's like,
he's hilarious, man. He's hilarious. I love Joey. I love seeing him. I love hearing from him. Every once in a while, I don't see him as much as I used to when he was down in the Caribbean all the time.
I'll build something, and he'll go, "No, I tried that a long time ago. It's not going to work." And I was like, "Oh, thanks."
You know what though? And everybody's different. I absolutely love it when my crew would come up and say, "Hey, I want to do this." I'm like, "You're welcome to do it, but I've tried that before, and I don't do it because of blank."
Right.
Now go ahead if you want to build it, and we can. Listen, the only way you're going to learn is if you miss a couple. So I'm okay.
Look like I'm building Frankenstein most of the time, walking to the boat with an armful of stuff.
Oh my God. I remember one time I was building a dredge. Billy wanted a dredge to fit when I worked for Billy Bohr back, oh my gosh, 96. And we were going to fish the White Marlin Open. He's like, "Hey, have a dredge ready." So I got a couple things ready. But I decided I was going to build one out of artificials. He's like, "What the fuck did you build? That looks like a damn Christmas tree." And we put that thing out, and it was great, because when he'd call it from the tower, There's a white marlin on the Christmas tree. But listen, he let me do it.
Yeah,
He was cool with it. He didn't tell me no. He made fun of me. And when I fished for Cujo, you knew when you were fucking up because he would just giggle. Hee hee. I'm like, what the fuck is so funny? I look at him. He goes, "Look at what you're doing. Really? Look what you're doing." Yeah. And that, when you're 23 years old, 22 years old, you don't think of it. But now looking back, I'm like,
I don't
I
know that man personally, but I feel like everybody that talks about him says he's one of the greatest that ever do it. So
oh my God, I had more fun with that guy. We had so much fun. We caught fish. We had a good time. We always had, uh, I could, and I don't want to go, and it's not like it's something dirty or nothing. It's just something that's disgusting. Uh, we had a refrigerator shut down and we didn't know it had been shut down for a couple months. And, um, we got out of the boatyard and we had to clean it. And he goes, "Man, Fly, I hate to do this, but I'm pulling rank. You got to clean it."
oh no, it was so nasty.
And I put on a fucking hazard suit, the whole 9 yards. Oh, it was great, man. It was great. No, he's a great guy, even better fisherman. Yeah, I love the guy to death. If he'd call me up right now and he needed something, I'd jump on a plane. I wouldn't blink twice.
Nice.
But I got a lot of guys like Pugsley's the same way. Pugsley, if he called me up right now, I'd hang up the phone with you and go jump on a plane and go help him out if he needed it. I love that guy. He's great. Last year I was in Costa Rica and I was down in Capos and I'm like, "Hey man," and I don't think I go down there. I don't at least call him and say, "Hey man, I'm in town. I don't have time to see you," or if you make it up this way. And he drove from Los Sueños down to Capos and we had a little lunch. I introduced him to my business partner from Saudi Arabia who I was fishing with. And, we got to talk shop and tell fishing stories. And yeah, I love the guy,
He's
but
a good person. You talking about Jackson, and it's like great kids. He's always my son's Wyatt. It's like Wyatt killed his biggest deer this year because of Jamie. He's like he come in. We went to their farm up there, and it's like they got to hunt. And he's like he's always been here for me and my son, and it's like he's got a big heart, and it's like he's the world's. He'll tell you when you're doing wrong. Jamie don't have a filter. If he thinks you're doing something wrong, he'll tell you real fast. He don't care to hurt your feelings. I said, but that's the reason I love him so much. He's
ah,
always been real good to me.
listen, I think you learned that already about me.
Yeah.
Listen, when something bothers me, I'm going
Yeah.
to let somebody know and then I move on.
Yeah, tell them. That's me. It's like most people think I'm the biggest asshole there is in the world. I said, but I just say what I feel. It's like
Yeah, if something's bothering me, I'm gonna let you know,
we're going about our
and
business.
then go about our business. I don't hold grudges, not unless you try to fuck me over, that's a different story. But listen, if something bothers me, I'm gonna explain to you that I'm upset. I'm gonna tell you why I'm upset, and then we're all good. Let's move on. I don't give a shit,
Right.
and I'll forget about it. And
Absolutely.
um, that's but. Man, we're grown ass men.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I'm just 16 years old with a beard, man.
Yeah, I'll still be a baby forever.
Yeah, just get it off your chest,
Yeah.
so people know who you are. There's one thing I hate is people not knowing. You're gonna know, you're gonna know. I'll let you know, and then we're good. And that's why I like Jamie. That's why I love Jamie.
Yeah.
And when you see him, you can tell him, Fly's still waiting to go hunting with you. We have been planning to go hunting for 30 years, bro.
Man.
30 years. But my schedule, his schedule.
And Jamie's schedule will be in like call you at the middle of the night. He goes, "Hey, we're gonna go to Oklahoma tomorrow. We're gonna go to Colorado. Do you want to go?" And it's like, yes, but I'm trying not to get divorced or split up with in the middle of this. So give me 10 minutes. I got to figure it out.
Yeah, no, it's just there's been times he's like, "Hey man, I'll call him up in like October. Hey, I just got home from tuna fishing. What's your schedule look like? Hey, I have these weeks. Why don't you come up to Alabama? No, I'm going to be fish a tournament here. I'm going to be fishing this there. Okay, what about that? No, I'm leaving back to Costa Rica. I don't take it personally at all. It's just the fact that every year we try to do it, and I'm happy that we just try.
I mean, we get it. We live 10 minutes apart, and sometimes we'll call each other on the way back and forth through it. It's like we don't get to see each other, but it's like everybody's got a life, man. We just got to do our best to see the people we can.
Exactly. And when I'm in the neighborhood up there, I don't. Are you home or are you in Costa Rica? I'm in Costa Rica. Okay, no, I'm flying up. Uh, I'm flying up there, or I'm driving up there, and I just want to see if you're in town so I could see have dinner with you and the kids or something. Or back when
Right.
he was married, you and the wife. Um, because I knew his wife even before they started dating.
Right.
I was business partners with his sister-in-law.
Right.
So, um, yeah, it's again, it goes back to the little community that we all
Small
fucking,
world.
yeah,
Small world.
we all fucking know each other.
For sure. For sure.
So you're gonna go fish. Are you fishing the Los Sueños tournament with him?
I should have been done already there, but my dad, as you know, had a heart attack on the 8th. And it's like, that's been a whirlwind of stuff, open heart surgery, strokes, everything else.
Amen.
But yeah, he's, like I said, just always there for me, allowing me to do stuff. It's like people don't understand how big of a deal it is to go be able to be a part of these tournaments, much less just to know somebody that's fishing in them. So yeah,
Yeah,
it's fortunate to be able to go and learn that stuff. And man, he's got two of the best mates I know that works for him. It's like they're good people. The owners are good people, so it's always fun.
are you an angler? Are you a tower guy?
I'm a power guy. I
You're
ain't
the
better.
tower guy.
Yeah, it's like
Okay,
I go in, I'll be at the bottom on that. I just get to watch what everybody else does.
I love being the tower guy, man.
Actually, I think I got to share the tower with Devon. I think he'll be up there, but we'll handle it.
Yeah, no, no,
It's
no.
like,
Do you have the headsets or are you
oh yeah,
yelling?
oh yeah,
Okay.
headsets.
Headsets are nice. Headsets are
That's, and I
nice.
don't get worked up over too much, so it's pretty nice having me around. I don't get worked up over too much.
I I have a buddy of mine, Jamie knows him. And I'm gonna name drop him too, because fucktards. That's why. We were down in Dominican Republic. I'm an excitable fellow when life is happening, but when it's fishing, it's a job. It's my business. It's my career. So, we were all dancing, having a good time, and him and I were telling a story. We're both looking uh at the spread. I'm by the door, and he's sitting on the tackle box uh, of his boat, and the mezzanine's on the other side, to the left side, and the tackle box is on the right side of the door. And I look up, and there's a blue marlin on the left bridge. So I just grab the headset and blue marlin left bridge, and we talking, and it's like, we've got six anglers. I'm like, hey, blue marlin left bridge. Still nobody moving. I'm like, fuck you guys. I'm catching the blue marlin on the left bridge. I jump over people. I start throwing the pitch bait. They're like, what the fuck? We thought you were joking. I'm like, no, dude, there's a blue marlin on the left bridge. Go get him. I told you guys twice. Nobody did anything. Fuck it. I'll go get him.
You're talking about so quiet. Lucas, he's one of the anglers on Jamie Deere and all this stuff. And I was like, everybody be
Lucas
going
from
crazy.
Lucas from Kansas.
Yeah. And love Lucas. And he'll go over there and he's so quiet and his tall ass has done come behind you and dumped it right at the damn transom over here. So everybody's trying to catch this one. And you see one jumping off across there. And there's one. He's like, I'm on. I've been on. I'm just waiting on y'all. It's like he just
Yeah.
quiet. Made it
He,
happen.
I I wish I can find it. I might have the telephone around here somewhere. I don't know. We were all up in Mississippi for Bobby Carter's tournament. We went over to, oh my God, what is it? Rosie's Chicken and Fish for lunch. And as we're sitting there, we're again, bunch of fishermen shooting the shit, telling stories. And we were talking about the mullet toss out of the Floribama. It's like, that's what we should do this afternoon. Let's throw some mullet around. Okay, so we went and bought a 5 pound box of mullet. We bought a couple of pounds of crawfish, grabbed some beers, and we went to the parking lot of. This was back when it was still the Golden Nugget. So we're sitting there, and they're throwing these fucking mullets across in the dirt. We got a bucket of water rinsing these mullet around. Here comes Lucas, and he grabs this. And actually, I think Jamie was one of the measuring guys. So all these, they're like maybe, I don't know, 60, 70 feet away from everybody. And please don't hold me to it. I remember in my brain, I can't remember exactly the distance. So I'm videoing this thing. I think it was Jamie, and I don't know who was out there. It might have been Marlon for all I know. But there's like 20 of us having a good time. Everybody's drinking beer, popping fucking crawfish, having a good old time. And Lucas gets this thing, he winds up, he does like one of them Happy Gilmore fucking swings. And with his long arms, he goes
Yeah.
whoosh. And literally, Pugsley watches this mullet go above his head, go past him, and it hits the fucking garage. And Lucas comes right up to my camera because I'm videoing the whole thing on my phone. He goes, and that there, ladies and gentlemen, is a new Mississippi State record.
Lucas got like 7 foot arms, so it's
Oh
like,
my God, he's got this giant ass wingspan. But he was just so calm about it. There's another one. He's invited me 100 times to go hunting. Um, and I don't listen, and he has, and I've had him on the podcast before, and I'd love to have him again. Um, But he has this big old giant outfit, and I don't just want to go up with myself. I want to go up with all my buddies. I want to go up with Pugsley.
yeah,
Again, I don't give a shit if I shoot anything. I just want to go up and hang out and cook and uh, talk shit and tell stories. And
his place is incredible.
is it? Have you gotten a chance?
I've been there. It's a bunch. It's unreal.
Yeah, I can believe it. He's done an unbelievable job with what he's done.
He
He
is.
really, it's been. I remember when he first started in it, and little by little, he's just
That's right.
grown that thing just to an amazing size.
You just got to have the vision and a big enough dream that you don't give up on it. I mean, that's just like all of us. You just got to
C-
keep going.
Consistency.
That's it.
It's all about consistency. It's nothing else but consistency. And we all get bogged down or burnt out or,
Yeah,
oh
man.
man,
Life happens to everybody.
yeah, it's just be consistent.
Yeah.
Just be consistent. If you keep going at it, sooner or later it'll catch fire. You
Yeah.
know,
It's like
it's
keep
like
going. It's like
it's like a hot turbo, man. Just if you don't go check on it, sooner or later it's going to catch fire. That's why you're supposed to go down and check your engine room, man.
absolutely. My thing of it is, it's like what helped me going is a lot of people may feel like you can't do it for a while. You tell me I can't do it, I'm going to do it, and I'm probably going to be better at you at it. That's just
Don't
my mentality. It's just
don't.
I
I
I,
had
I give it
I had
100%.
I had somebody tell me when I first started in this industry, you'll never make it. And I was like, really? Seriously? Is that what you're going to tell me? And I said, okay. I says, not only am I going to make it, I'm going to be one of the best known fishermen in the world.
Yeah.
Ha ha, motherfucker.
Man, I had a lot of people when they come in. It's like no finger pointing or anything like that. I had a lot of people that side talk when I first started and didn't know I'd do anything, and they probably said, "Man, he won't ever make it." I said, "I don't know why he's here at late life." I said, "I'm passing every one of them boys." I said, "I may suck tomorrow, but I'm beating them now." I said,
Listen, it's one thing if they say it behind your back. It's another one when you tell it to my face, now you're in
"Yeah,
trouble.
yeah."
Now
It's
you're in
like,
trouble.
and I get
If
it. It's like everybody, you have to have that thought. It's like, "Well, he's never done this. He didn't get raised like we did." It's like that don't matter. If somebody believes in it enough, they'll learn.
Bro, one of my favorite, and it's funny because I just told him this year. I don't, do you know Ross Clark,
No, I
Flash?
don't. Mm.
All right. Flash is 72 years old. He, badass motherfucker. I mean, when I was in high school, I used to read about Flash in the magazines. Now him and I share a cottage together up in Canada for the last 10 years.
Nice.
I credit Flash with introducing me to the Bible. Not that I didn't believe in God. I've always believed in God, but I just not necessarily spending time reading scriptures or discussing them or anything like that. Flash was the one that introduced me to that a while ago, probably about a dozen years ago. And every year we go up, and him and I at dinner, we just, we tell stories. We talk about fishing. We talk about work. We talk about business. Sooner or later, we always end up talking something about the Bible or some kind of scripture, or, how we should uh, lead our life or how we should live our lives and how we should thank God for what we have. And I mean, there's so many things that he has taught me that I keep living by. And last year, uh, something I don't know. I moved his clothes were in the washer. I put them in the dryer. And then one time he's like, I went to go look for my clothes and I'm like, oh, no, Flash, they're already folded. I put it in your room. And he's like, Fly, tomorrow I'm going to cook dinner. I'm like, no, Flash, you just relax. I'm not fishing tomorrow. I go, Flash, just relax. I'm putting something in the crock pot. He goes, Fly, why do you always take care of me? I go, you know why? I said, when I was 21 years old or 20 years old, fuck, I wasn't even Fly at the time. I was just some punk ass kid on the dock. Here's this guy I used to read about. Uh, Hi, you're Captain Flash. He goes, well, my name's Ross Clark, but everybody calls me Flash. And he shakes my hand. And to him, I I was part of the crew. I, if you're rigging baits for tomorrow, you're part of the industry. You're part of me. You're part of the fraternity. Now it's your job whether you're going to fuck it up or not. But you're in this group now. You got a job. You're doing it. Keep doing it. And I will never, ever, in my entire life, I will never forget that. That's one thing. I'm brutally loyal, and that's one thing about Flash. And I told him this year, I go, Flash, when nobody else was talking to me, because again, like you said, you're just a young kid or nobody knows you. Flash didn't give a shit, you
That's
know?
exactly. I mean, exactly right. It's like I say it every summer. Honestly, probably more often than I should. That there's a lot of people that do this business, and I don't have a clue why the 5 or 6 people that are so dear to me kind of took time for me or whatever, because it wasn't for fishing. It wasn't because I had something to offer them for fishing, but it was like whatever they saw in me to give me a chance or to help me when I asked for help. I said I will never forget it, because I see a lot of people give up because they don't know how close they would have been to making it if they would have just kept trying, or just maybe went to a different group, or just stop trying to figure out what everybody else is doing, figure out what works for you. And it's like so many people, if you'll just they give up on that, or they don't get the opportunity to move up forward. And it's like you said, I was very fortunate to be able. I've been taken under by some swingers, man, some real big hitters in the industry, and it's been nice. It's been a blessing to me. So I can
The,
relate
the,
what you're saying.
the only thing I would ask of you is when you see that other young kid coming up, you just return the favor. I'm not speaking for those guys. Let them speak for themselves. As somebody because listen, I have guys that I've known since they were 14 years old, and they still call me. They're grown ass men. They're married. They got kids, and they still call me, and I'm happy to help. I absolutely love it.
I have a
Um,
20-year-old that works under me right now. That's probably I feel like he'll be one of the very best one to ever float on the water. When he's worked for me for 4 years, and he's like, he's such a great kid. It's like I do that. It's like people just give me the opportunity to do stuff. It's like I try to show Paxton everything I can. It's like he's a great kid, and I think he'll go far in this industry.
that's
You got to be a good person before you're a good fisherman, then everything else come in. Got to be a good person. I say
I,
that shit. I know a
I
lot of shitty people as good fishermen, but maybe
no,
they started.
but 100%. And I always people are like, man, he doesn't know anything about fishing. I said, I don't give a shit if he knows about fishing. I care about two things. Does he have a good personality, and does he want to learn? Because if he has a good personality and he wants to learn, I can teach him anything, but I can't teach him a good personality.
Right.
If you're a pain in the ass to be around, I can't teach you to not be a pain in the ass. You're always going to be a fucking pain in the ass. But if
That's
you're a
right.
good person and you're fun to be around, I can teach you what to do.
Right.
That's easy. I didn't know it. Somebody had to teach me, you know? There's shit I still learn every day. And that's one of the things I love hanging around with a lot of these young guys. And it is the one thing that I don't want to say disappointed. It's not disappointed. I wish I would have the time to spend around some more younger guys. Um, and unfortunately, just I'm not on the dock as often as I used to be. And when I'm on the dock, I want to see my buddies,
Right.
and if they have a young guy and I get the opportunity to talk with him, man, I want to talk to him. Um, I wish I would have more time because a lot of these young kids are good kids. They reach out to me. Oh, speaking of military guys, we were talking earlier. My one business partner in Okinawa, he runs a fleet of charter boats, and I went fishing one day with a bunch of Marines and a bunch of 18, 19, 20-year-old kids. They still reach out to me on Instagram. Still reaching out to me on Instagram. Hey, Fly, I don't know if you remember me, but we fished in Okinawa, this and that. I'm stationed in blank.
Yeah.
And I was wondering if you know anybody that I can charter or go fishing with. And it's like, man, I don't know how far away you are from here, but this is a buddy of mine. Just tell him you're a friend of mine.
Right.
Just tell him you know me and I gave you the number,
Right.
and go from there. But they constantly contact me, and I love it. You got 3 days off and you want to go play in my sport?
Yeah. I was like,
Damn,
come on.
damn straight, man. I'm gonna hook a brother up.
For sure, for
You
sure.
know, and if I could help anybody anywhere in the world to go do it, man, I just had a guy today from Kuwait reach out to me. He wants to go fishing this spring in April. I'm like, well, where do you want to go? What do you want to catch? How far do you want to travel? You know, I met him at a tournament in Fujairah back in November, and he just put a video out on YouTube, and it's all in Arabic except for me talking. I've got
Yeah.
three little cameos in
Three
there.
lines in it.
Yeah, well, they're
That's
not
fascinating.
lines.
I
They
know
would
that has to be
they
such a
would
great time.
find me every, like night at the captain's meeting. I introduce the captain's meeting in English, and then after day one, I give a full fishing report, and it's great. Here I'm on Kuwaiti YouTube, man, and he's like, "Man, I want to go fishing." I'm like, "Okay, give me some time. Let me make some calls, and I'll see who I can put you in touch with." You know, but I love that. That's
It
what our
is.
sport's about. It's helping other. Man, if your buddy's out there with a broken engine, you don't leave him.
That's right.
You
That's right.
know, if your buddy runs out of beer, you don't leave him.
Yeah, you give
You
him
give him
that
some,
too.
you give him beer, man. You give him some beer, whatever it takes. And I don't care what country you come from. The guy doesn't speak that much. He speaks a little bit of English, but enough that he likes to go fishing.
Right. That's
That's
all that
enough.
matters.
That's enough for me, man.
Yeah.
You like to catch blue marlin? Poof. We're brothers. We're brothers from different mothers, man.
That's right. That's
You
right.
know, that's the way I see it. And if I can help you somewhere along the way, now the great thing is now I can call up 4 or 5 of my buddies that I probably haven't talked to in a couple of years. Say,
Right.
I got a guy. You mind if I introduce you to him? Yeah, sure, not a problem. And now I just gave my buddy some business and
It's
got
what
this
keeps
guy.
us alive. It really is. Word of I'm not a big person to go back. I know that we jumped from the military to the outfit to the fishing,
No,
but
no, jump
it's a,
around, bro.
I'm not a really big person on a social media of putting what I kill and everything else. Like I've been the biggest word of mouth person forever. And it's like you take that one person fishing or hunting or whatever, and you had a great time with him, he'll go home and tell 10 more. And at least 2 or 3 of those guys are going to call you. And that's what makes this business. If we're trying as a charter boat guy or even the outfitter, is like that one person that you took the time out with to hunt or even show him a good time, he's going to take care of you too.
100%.
And that's right.
100%. Now, I post a lot on social media, but this is my giant but. And I'm not going to go throw somebody under the bus. Um, Charter guy out of Costa Rica, I was fishing with him, and he's like, uh, "You know what I hate about social media?" And I'm like, "Okay, I'll bite. What do you hate about social media?" Everybody puts up their numbers so that when one of my charter guests comes down here 3 weeks later or 2 months later, and fishing isn't as hot as it was, but they catch 7 sailfish, they're like, "But so and so, but Fly caught 30 something." He goes, "It makes it hard on me." And I'm like, huh, okay. And until that point, I don't know if I ever did post reports because for me, it has nothing to do with what I catch. It's what I'm doing in between what I'm catching. But I know 100% since that day, I've never put a number up. You know, I may put a video of a fish we caught, or we caught a real nice one or something. But as far as a report, uh-uh, because
It's,
everybody's watching.
I mean, same way with outfitting. And just like you said, when I was first coming to this business on the fishing side of it, and I was learning Lawrence and asking him questions about everything. He was talking about when he had the opportunity to work for Mr. Chip, and he goes, he probably single-handedly one of the best fishermen in the entire world. He said best captain he'd ever worked for in his life. He goes, but he told him every day, he goes, I know that we could go break this record every single day. He goes, but if you do that, those people are not out there to have a good time anymore. They're out to break the record that they just caught. And he goes, then not that they're not having a good time, but they're already focused their trip's fun on whether you caught more than you did last time. And it's like I've been fortunate to have a really good. I mean, of course, I would love to have a big outfit in Arkansas, or right up here up the road that I didn't have to go to another country in. But I like killing limits. I like not having to worry about this guy that saved up $100 a weekend for him and his son to be able to come hunt with me because it's expensive. The plane
Yeah.
rides are cost a lot, and it's like I don't want to base that hunt off of if I don't care to tell anybody. It's like I had rising sons that hunted with us this year. It's like we still shot our birds, but it was probably one of the hardest 3 days of hunting I've had since I owned the business. And then the ones before that and right after that, we shot them so hard you could close your eyes and they were there. But it's like I try to instill in people and young guides too that work for me. So there's no such thing as a bad hunt. Like I don't think there's no in the tournament side there's a such thing as a bad trip. But if you look back at it, it's like we may not have won and we may not have caught it. But if you look back and your owner or the people that paid that money, they had a good time. That's all that matters. It's like there's no bad hunt. It's like don't be basing that off of well, damn, this year I shot 411 with Jeremy in 3 days. And next year I shot 310. Man, I wish it'd been last year. I was like, you shot more ducks this year than you did last year. It's like don't base it off the numbers. You're going to miss it. And you hear those sayings like, don't miss the forest for the trees. That's exactly where that goes back to right there. It's like, don't miss the opportunity that we're on this $1 to $20 million boat getting to do this job, or we're in this place that we overlook every day, getting to wake up in another country and run this outfitter and successfully and being able to make a living on it. It's like we overlook that stuff. It's like you got to go back to where the good things are in life. It's like there is no bad fishing days. There's no bad hunting days or whatever. You just got to do what makes you fun, what makes it fun for you.
Yeah, you gotta. We could be at Home Depot shaking paint,
That's right.
but we get to go fishing
And
or
if good Lord
hunting.
wanted me to dig ditches, I'd be the best ditch digger I could be. But right now, he likes me hunting and fishing, so that's what I'm gonna
Well, that's the way I look at it. He blessed me with. I found I had a passion. I turned it into a job, and that job turned into a career, and the career is now turned into a business. I spend most of my time talking about fishing or hunting all day long. I've got no complaints, brother.
do. No, me neither. You
None.
gotta be thankful for it while we've got it. It could be changed tomorrow.
Exactly. What time's your flight tomorrow?
6 in the morning.
Woo! Out of Pensacola?
Yeah.
Pensacola,
San
Miami,
Jose
not
about 2. No,
Pensacola, Miami, or Pensacola to Dallas?
Houston, and
Oh,
then across. Yep.
okay. So you're flying on United.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mostly, I always get the good flights. He goes into Miami, so we don't have to sit nowhere a long time. But he does his shit a lot sooner than I do. I'm the king of last minute and changing stuff. Keep going to the right each way.
Bro, I'm the king of what airport I want to sit at because I know which one's most comfortable. It's got the best food, it's got the best showers. Um, I man, when you're on a plane for 14 hours, the first thing you want to do is take a shower. So I
That's
know I know where my layovers want to be. So I'm always okay. I have an airport 10 minutes away, Palm Beach International Airport. I share the same one with DJT, and that's Donald J. Trump, in case you didn't know who that was.
news.
Uh, and I love flying out of this one, but sometimes it's better for me to go to Miami, or sometimes it's better for me to fly out of Orlando, just because I can get a better connection somewhere or another. Starting and finishing doesn't bother me. It's where you're stuck that you're not home or not where you want to be. You know,
I guess I just kind of. Oh, it don't really bother me on the layovers and stuff. I'll just sit somewhere and usually have something to do. I can pass the time. It's like driving in a truck to Canada. That's the longest drive in the world to most people. It's like I actually enjoy it. It don't bother me.
do you get it done in one day or 2 days?
I can usually drive straight through.
How many hours?
44.
16? 44 hours? And
Yeah.
you drive straight through?
The only time I'll stop is usually I can do it in 36 hours. The one time we got stopped at the border takes a little bit stronger. Now I'm a zombie when we get there, but for the most of the time I can drive it. I get excited to be there.
Oh my God. 44 straight hours. All right. Do you have somebody that you could at least nap against the window or something?
Oh yeah, I can pull over.
Okay.
My dog, he can't drive, but it's just me and him usually. It's like I got a big
I,
truck
I bet you if we give him the wheel, he might be a better driver than you.
on the straightaways. Probably most people hate riding with me anywhere. It's like if anybody rode with me ever through North Dakota, they'd understand that God invented rumble strips for me, and I'm going to drive you nuts if you ride with me because I'm going to be on the pinball machine effect the whole time.
My girlfriend yells at me all the time because
I'm a lot safer. If you're on the sides, you're safe. Anything in the center might not be too safe around me because I'm going to watch everything else.
I so you said you were in Iraq and Afghanistan.
Afghanistan twice, Iraq once.
I've never been to either, but I've spent a lot of time in Saudi. And those and I listen, I'm not hiding anything here, and I tell them all the time. Those lines dividing the lanes, they're just fucking suggestions, man.
And jingle trucks, you better get out of the way. They're coming for you. Most of them.
Whoa. And mind you, like when you're in Jeddah, Jeddah's a big town, So
Right.
it's not a lot of these crazy trucks. It's people driving. There's no semis. They take all the back roads and the side roads and stuff like that. There's just people driving, and it's like, well, there's a space between those two cars. It reminded me when I lived in Venezuela. They didn't give a shit.
When I first got there, Jamie said, "What do you think about Costa Rica?" And I said, "I'm gonna tell you something." I said, "I was in the mountains in Afghanistan, but I was towards Kandahar and Mosul in Iraq. Or excuse me, I was in Mosul towards Iraq, and it looks exactly like Hako. If you drive
Does it
down
really?
Santiago, it's like that's there. It's like I closed my eyes and I said, somehow or another we ended back up in Mosul."
Wow. I last time I was in Jeddah, it was November, and I went. We had to go to this town. My business partner is a developer out there, and so he went out to this town where he was building some buildings. And he's like, "Hey, I just got to check a project." Okay, so we go, and there's like three main highways. You have, and I can only describe it in Florida, so I don't know the roads in Alabama well enough to describe it. But in Florida, we have US 1, which runs right kind of like right along the intercoastal. You have I-95, and you have the Turnpike.
Right.
And the farther you get out west, the homes get a little bit bigger. Well, it's the same thing. You have Jeddah, it's the big town, big homes, really nice. And you have the second one is a lot of middle class. Then you go out to the other one, and it's a lot of like apartments, homes, but condo styles. But the traffic, oh my gosh. I mean, now you got trucks, and
Right.
there is no lines, and there is like you could be all the way in the left lane, and oh, there's my exit. All five lanes, man. All
Yeah, here
five
it
lanes.
comes.
And I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. He's like, you okay? I'm like, did you see him? He goes, that happens all the time, man. I'm like,
They
no,
don't care.
that shit
You're seeing
don't
them little
happen all the
motorcycles
time.
shoot across them lanes over there, and you go, "Man, any day he's supposed to get smushed."
Oh,
We laughed about it in Costa Rica, and he goes, "The ones that's got the little light, the PT vest, they've been almost run over before." He goes, "The one that's got the flashing light, they've been hit." And he goes, "The ones that's got the ones on the front and the back, they've been run the hell over. They're just still here."
oh my God. So the driver that I use when I go to Costa Rica, I'm trying to think, I had a 6 a.m. flight because I fished the OWC, and then I had a speaking engagement here on Saturday night. So I had to catch a 6 a.m. flight to make it. So I had him pick me up at 2 o'clock in the morning in Capos, 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock, something like that. And we're driving, and out of nowhere, there was a herd of cows. And luckily, they weren't on the road. They were probably 30 seconds away from being on that road.
Oh, it was
They were
going
on
to
this,
happen too.
it was going to happen. And, they're all brown and black cows. So it's not like you can see them. They don't have reflector tape on them. They don't have shit on them. It was like,
Going to be up in the middle of them.
cows. It's like, I'm like, holy shit. He goes, scared me too. Just very calm. He goes, they got me too. It's like, son of a bitch.
Yeah, man, they'll come out of nowhere. It's like no fear whatsoever. And I was like, "Dude, if you only knew how endangered you was." I said, "Because I promise I'm not paying as close as attention as I should be."
Oh my God. So, Jeremy, I would like to say thank you for joining me, joining all of us. You hold on a second. I'm going to sign off here. If you want to say any last words, go right ahead.
Oh man, I'm good. Thanks for having me on. It means a lot. It does,
No,
and
it
glad,
was my
very glad you're good. It's
it
like,
was it was my pleasure. I know we've been chasing each other down this entire week, so I'm glad I got you to get on here before you go see old Pugsley. So thank you for joining us, everybody. Where could people find your outfitting service? And or you said you're not on social media, so if somebody wanted to get a hold of you, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
man, by cell phone, I do have an Instagram page. It's myself, but it's like most people can get my number from just about anybody. That you want to go hunting, just look us up. I'm been fortunate to we're booked out a few years, but every once in a while we have a group that let go, and we actually had a group let go this year. So I do have availability. But
What's the name of your outfitting service?
Broken Oak Outfitters.
Broken Oak Outfit. Do you have a website?
We do have a website.
What's the website?
BrokenOakInfo.com. Info at brokenoak.com. Or no, that one got shut down. HuntBrokenOak.com.
Hunt Broken Oak.
.com.
I don't want to send somebody the wrong address, man. I got to send them the right address.
That's the right one.
Okay.
They'll find me.
If not, get a hold of me and I'll get a hold of him. I got
That's
his number. I'll forward the number. You hold on right here. Everybody, thank you so much. And we will check you guys later.